Homelessness is not always a result of bad choices. The truth is that most people are closer to homelessness than they think. One missed paycheck, one medical emergency, or one sudden change of job can suddenly turn things around. And in the time when the cost of living is rising higher than income, building a life beyond your W-2 is no longer smart. My name is Bibi Ofiri, and today we'll be talking about how most people are just one paycheck from being homeless. So let's dive right in. Recent US data shows that homelessness has been increasing sharply. In January 2024, a point in time, PPT recorded 771,480 people were experiencing homelessness in a single night. I'm not saying in a year, I'm talking about in a single night. The highest since the systematic counting started in 2007. That number represents an 18% increase from 2023. And family homelessness has been very significant. It has experienced a very large jump. That is about 33% from the previous year. I'm referring to 2024. Right now in 2025, I don't have the data for that, but this is based on 2024. It rose to about 33%. Nearly 150,000 children were counted as homeless just in 2024. Across many states in the US, homelessness rose in about 43 states, including the capital, DC. Even in Texas, we saw an approximate 13% increase in those periods. More people than any other time in recent decades are finding themselves without stable housing. Let's identify several overlapping causes that is making people homeless. We have high cost of housing, we have inflation, we have insufficient affordable housing, and really the ending of the pandemic era. We just finished the pandemic era less than 2 years ago, so there's still a significant effect. I know some of you are wondering why I'm talking about this today. I'm saying this because we are seeing an increase of homelessness around the US. Some of these properties had no single homeless people around them, but we are seeing a tick up around areas in the US. Like I said at the beginning, most people are just one check away from being homeless. I'm going to use myself as an example. I know some of you had heard the story when I spoke about how we were being foreclosed on and we were homeless for 2 years. It was just a matter of this that turned everything around. Imagine a family having about 4 houses. Do you think that such family would experience homelessness? No, but truth be told, that was our situation. We lost all the houses except one, and the last one that we're about to lose was the one that I was handed over a foreclosure notice. For a family that was stable just 1 minute ago, we became unstable for 2 years. We became homeless and we're living from house to house, homes to homes, and finally we landed ourselves in the church without bathroom, without heater, without nothing. It was really a terrible experience, and that is the situation of so many people living from paycheck to paycheck. So my question to you is, how reliant is your W-2? If you were to lose your job today, would that be the end of you being stable, or would that make you homeless? I need you to take this as serious as you can. How long do you have to remain solvent to pay your bills if you lose your job, or if one of your family members dies, or if something turns around in your life that will create a significant effect? I'm saying this because all these things happened to us, to my family, when my dad died. Are you in that situation? Right now you're living cool and you think everything is fine and all that, and you feel that nothing is going to happen. So what are some common factors that are likely to make people closer to being homeless? Job loss or even reduction of hours. Right now we're experiencing a shutdown in the government. If this thing extends for too long, do you think they will have a home to go to? Possibly not, if they did not plan, or if they were living from paycheck to paycheck. Illness or disability to work can also be one of the factors that can get someone closer to becoming homeless. Unexpected expenses like medical bills, repairs, and any other thing can also bring one closer to being homeless. Death of a family member, like what happened to us. The death of my dad, my father, brought us not just close to being homeless, but we were actually homeless for 2 years. Because people are living from paycheck to paycheck, makes it even more worse and makes it more realistic that homelessness is just by the corner knocking. So what have I observed recently? From my observation, I've noticed that some things have really made the homelessness situation very prominent. And one of it is increase in homelessness has been seriously tied to rent and housing costs, that is affordability of housing. Housing has become become very expensive and no longer considered affordable. Most people are spending about 45% or 50% of their income to pay for their rent. Now, if you look at it, the standard is that you should spend about 30% of your income on your rent. If you're spending about 45 to 50% of your income on rent, it's only a matter of time if nothing changes or if something significant happens in your household. It's only a matter of time you miss paying your rent and you'll be evicted and you become homeless. Just that. That's how close or how simple it could look like. Another thing that I observed that is bringing about increase in homelessness is that we just came out of the pandemic era. That is, there were some laws during the pandemic era that prevented people from being homeless. Now it has gotten to the end of it. Most of those programs have been rolled away, and now it has really exposed a lot of families. No more stimulus checks, and although house support has even become very worse lately, especially with the new bill, a lot of things have been pulled out, and this is largely to say that homelessness is going to be more as we keep going. Do you know that some of these homeless people still have W-2? It doesn't mean that because you have a W-2 you'll be able to afford a home. This is part of my observation. Some of these people that you see out there actually have a job, but either they're living in their car or living on the street because their income does not support the cost of housing. And why some actually had former employment but lost it or something happened and they no longer work, and that has led to them being homeless. Let's talk about how close is it for many people to become homeless. Someone that uses 40 to 50% of his income to pay rent only needs to miss some few hours of work for them not to be able to pay their bills, and that could lead to homelessness. A health situation can also lead to that. Losing a partner or household can lead to that, just as I mentioned earlier on. Sudden external cost. Sometimes we plan our lives, but things can happen. These things can lead to unexpected changes and land you on the street. So how do we prevent this or plan or become resilient to life? I won't lie to you, life is life in so many people. But what can we do to remain resilient? Or what can we do to build a more resilient life beyond just our W-2 income? Diversify your income. I've always said that. You need to take out time to diversify your income. Your W-2 is no longer a smart choice. Build side hustles, side gigs, side investments. These things can come in handy when something happens to your W-2. Develop skills. Skills can help you. If there's no longer W-2, you can jump into those skills that you know how to do. Exploit some passive income stream, like investing in multifamily. Some of you might be saying that I don't have the money. There's never enough money for you to start investing. You need to start now. Start investing in passive income so that if anything happens, you can take a hold of your life. I spoke about my second point just recently. Building an emergency fund. It could be 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. How much do I spend every month? Whatever it is I spend every month times 6 months, that becomes my emergency fund. I'm not asking you to do that, but you can take a clue from that if you have 6 months rent or 6 months spending or expenses, emergency funds stored up somewhere, if anything happens, you know you have about 6 months to get it right. That will give you some cushion or some wiggle rooms to go about your life and seeing how you can get a better job or get something else doing. Keep housing costs manageable. Don't spend more than 30 to 35% of your income in renting a house. Some of you want to live a baby girl life, or some of you want to live I am the big boss in town. There's time for everything. You need to start learning how to cut your coat according to your size. If you're spending more than 30 to 35% of your income, all you need to do is go and look for somewhere, a good environment. There are some very good places that are low in terms of rent you can take your family to. Good neighborhood, good that, and still experience a good life. It could look like you moving away from a particular state to another state. I moved away from California to Texas, and that was an intentional decision, not just for investment reason or because of cost. Yes, the money is there to sustain the life, but really, do I really want to spend that unnecessarily? No, I was looking for better life, cheaper, affordable housing and all that, and that was one of the things that made me take that decision. So you necessarily don't have to be in a place just because you want to feel among. No, you could decide to reduce your cost by getting a place that's a little more affordable. Know and use benefits. There are some benefits to people, especially people that are experiencing hardship or affordability issues. You need to know those benefits that you can tap into to reduce your cost. Right now, what we are seeing recently is vouchers. A lot of vouchers for stores. I use them, guys. I don't want to know. If I have a voucher for a particular store, that might be an incentive for me to shop there. There's nothing wrong with using vouchers. If you have them, you use them, and it could help you significantly reduce on your cost. So look for where there are benefits and start taking advantage of them. There's some housing benefit. If you don't ask, you wouldn't know. There's some child care benefit. If you don't know, you will not ask. There's some medical benefit. If you don't know, you won't ask. And there's some retailers that give out vouchers and all that. If you don't also know, you would not have it. So you need to start asking questions. One very important one: manage debit and credit. Most of us are using credit cards to do God knows what, do unnecessary things that will not help you improve on your life. You need to take out time and slow down on that. If you're using credit just for things that will not appreciate, I think you should take a second thought at that. I'm not saying that you should not have credit or you should not use it to do some personal things that you want, but be wise. You need to take control of your credit and your debit. Try to keep your credit clean. Don't spend above the limit. There's a particular limit that you shouldn't go beyond, because that can start affecting you. Plan for a life transition. That was one thing that we didn't do. As much as my dad thought that he had everything planned out, he has bought assets, he has things that would have given us a fair landing, but that was not the case because there's no planning around it. It's not about just buying, investing and doing that. You need to plan. How will your exit look like? Yes, some of us are young and will feel that we're not dying anytime soon. Death does not give you the time or the hour that it's going to come. It can just come regardless of the fact whether you are young or old. You need to plan. You need to plan what happens if you're not around, especially if you're the breadwinner. What will happen to your family? What will happen to your children? How will they sustain and what will be of their life? You can start doing that right now. And not just that, also plan, what if I lose my job as the only breadwinner of this house? If I lose my job, what becomes of my family? Are we going to become homeless? So it's not just you planning for your debt, it's also planning for the period or if you will become homeless. If there's no job security, you also need to plan for that. Before now, we used to know that the federal government jobs were the ones that were very, very secure. Right now, the reverse is the case. The private jobs have even become more secure than the government job because these things are happening impromptu. Most people did not believe that it was going to happen, but here we are seeing it happen right in our very eye. Imagine if you're one of those people and you did not plan. What do you think will be of you right now? It's just a matter of time. You'll be on the street. That's what I said. Some homeless people are not on the street out of choice. No, they're on the street because of no choice. One important thing that people don't also look like is build social support. You need to start having good friends, not friends that will be taking from you. Friends that are there to support you. Family members that are there to help you sustain yourself until you stand for a particular period of time. Social support and family support is very important during periods like this. People that can accommodate you for such a short time and all that can also help you. You need to start considering alternative path apart from your W-2. One of the things I've considered as an alternative path is investing in multifamily. And if you are not doing that, I don't know what to say to you, because multifamily gives you passive income. Aside from your W-2, you also have the Maybox money that comes in every quarter or every month that can keep you going. So imagine you losing your job, that can sustain you for a period of time. I'm not talking about financial freedom at this point. I'm talking about something that can keep body and soul going. In summary, homelessness in the US is at a record high. Relying on your W-2 is not just a bad choice, but not a smart one at all. Just having W-2 is not just the best choice. It means that you can be able to prevent that from happening, because like I said, most people are just a step away from being homeless and it can be prevented. So before I say goodbye in this episode, I need you to be sincere with yourself and ask yourself this question: how close are you to becoming homeless? Do you have the safety net? Are you diversifying your income? Is your life built only around your W-2? Do you have emergency funds? If your answer is no to all the things I've listed or I've mentioned, then it means that you're just one step away from being homeless if life situation changes. Once again, my name is Bibi Ofiri. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Bibi Ofiri. All you need to do is click on the subscribe button to subscribe, and also click on the notification button to notify you anytime we put out a post out there. We'll be very happy if you can support us by just subscribing. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.